4 years, $400,000 in sales, and thousands of customers later, and here's what I learned. People don't buy for the reason you think they do. There's a whole psychology behind why someone actually decides to check out. And once I started paying attention to it, my entire approach to selling shifted. Today, I want to walk you through those patterns and what actually makes people say yes. Point number 1 is that people buy the identity you're helping them step into, not the product itself. People aren't just buying a template, they're buying the version of themselves they want to become because of that template. When someone buys a business planner, they're not thinking, oh, cute layout. They're thinking, this is the year I finally get organized. When someone buys a website template, they're not just paying for design, they're paying for the feeling of, my brand finally looks legit. Every product is a doorway to a new identity, a more confident, capable version of themselves. And this is why I'm obsessed with good product photos. Mockups are not decoration, they're identity triggers. When someone sees your listing, they're not seeing a template, they're seeing who they could be. They're visualizing a polished brand, an organized workflow, a business they're proud of. That's what great product photos do. They let buyers try on the identity they want. And the sooner you start designing and marketing around the identity your customer wants to step into, the easier it becomes to sell digital products. Point number 2 is that people buy from brands they trust. And with digital products, trust matters even more because your product is intangible. Buyers can't touch it, they can't hold it. So trust becomes the currency. Before someone buys from you, they're not just looking at your design, they're asking themselves, can I trust this person? Will I actually get what I'm paying for? Does this shop feel legit? And trust is built in tiny things that may feel small to you but mean everything to a buyer. It's the consistency of your branding. It's the clarity of your titles and descriptions. It's your mock-ups looking clean and professional. It's how quickly you respond to questions. It's the overall feeling of your shop. All of those little things stack up into one decision. Okay, I feel good about buying from this shop. One pattern I see all the time with beginners is they do everything right, then ask why they're not getting sales. And when I check their shop, they only have 3 to 5 products. If you only have a few listings, no sales, and no reviews, how can someone trust you? I personally wouldn't buy from a shop with 2 listings and 0 social proof, especially when I'm comparing it to a shop with hundreds of products and thousands of reviews. This is why I always tell beginners, fill up your shop. A shop with lots of products signals I'm serious, I'm active, I'm established, you can trust me. Because even if you have the best 3 products in the world, they won't stand a chance if your shop looks empty. You're competing with sellers who look established, so you have to look trustworthy too. People buy when they trust you, and once someone trusts you, that's when you get repeat buyers, referrals, and customers who buy without hesitating because they already know you deliver. And since we're talking about trust, here's something that instantly boosts it: having your own website. I'm sure you've experienced this too. Anytime you're checking out a brand or a business, nothing screams they're legit more than seeing they have their own website. And honestly, that has always been a thing for me as a customer too. Every time I buy something online, if a brand doesn't have a website, I get a little iffy about purchasing. A website just gives that extra layer of reassurance. So if you want to build that trust with your customers, I always recommend setting up a website for your brand. But I also know that creating a website sounds overwhelming, especially if you're not techie. I've been there myself. When I was planning the vault, that idea lived in my head for over a year because I wasn't sure if I could build the kind of website it deserved. I'm not a web designer and I didn't feel techie enough, and honestly, that fear is what kept me from starting for so long. So if you're like that too and tech is what's holding you back, you can absolutely turn that one-day dream into day one with Hostinger. Hostinger is one of the easiest ways to go online. You can launch a professional website or even a full e-commerce store with 0 tech skills, no complicated setup, and no extra hidden costs. You even get hosting, a free domain for a year, and their powerful website builder all in one place. And the best part is, there are no transaction fees on your digital products, which means everything you earn goes straight to you. Let me show you how easy it is to set up. The first thing it's going to ask is who this website is for, and then click Create a Website. We're going to use Hostinger's Website Builder, which I love because it's super beginner friendly and really easy to navigate. Next, it'll ask you to choose a domain name, so I'm going to go ahead and type in Digital Stuff Society and choose the .shop option. And once that's done, you can start building your website right away. It'll ask you to enter your brand name and describe your brand in a few sentences. Try to be detailed here so it knows exactly what kind of website to generate. I'm just going to paste the description I already wrote for Digital Stuff Society. And since I mentioned in the description that I'm selling digital products, it automatically suggested adding an online store to my site, which is perfect. So I'm going to select that option and hit create website. And now the website builder will do its thing. It literally takes just a couple of minutes to generate everything based on your description. Once it's done, you'll see the bare bones of your website already built out. I just changed the header photo and adjusted the colors a bit, and in like 2 minutes, this is what it looks like. I can literally start uploading my products right inside the shop section. So if 2026 is the year you finally stop saying one day and turn it into your day one, Hostinger is honestly one of the easiest ways to start. They currently have their New Year sale happening where you can get the website builder business plan for as low as $2.99 per month with up to 84% off. Plus, you can get an additional 10% off when you use my code YALE at checkout. Discount may vary depending on when you're watching this, but I'll leave all the details in the link in the description box. Okay, point number 3 is that people buy when your product produces emotional friction, not just technical friction. You know, I only understood this after years of reading customer messages. I'd constantly get DMs like, is this easy to customize? Or can I change the colors? I'm not techie, do you think I can actually edit this? And eventually it clicked. People aren't worried about Canva. They're worried about themselves. They're scared of messing it up. They're scared of wasting money. They're scared it'll look bad or be too overwhelming. That's emotional friction, and it kills a sale way faster than technical friction ever will. So part of my job as a creator is to calm those fears. When someone messages me, I reassure them, send them beginner tutorials, walk them through what's possible, and that alone makes them more confident to buy. The other part is how I design my templates. Technically, I could make super complex designs, but I don't. Because I know my audience, they're beginners. If I create something that's hard to edit, they'll open it, panic, and either ask for a refund or leave a bad review. So I intentionally make my templates clean, structured, and incredibly easy to customize because that reduces emotional friction. And when people feel safe, capable, and think, okay, I can actually do this, that's when they buy. You're not just solving technical problems, you're also solving emotional ones. And the sellers who understand that convert way better. Point number 4 is that people buy because you remove decision overwhelm. Overwhelm is one of the biggest reasons customers don't buy. It's rarely because they don't like your product. It's usually because they're confused, unsure which product to pick, or scared of choosing the wrong thing. And the moment someone feels unsure, they click out. Confusion kills conversion. So as a creator, your job is to make their decision feel effortless. A huge source of overwhelm is a shop that feels chaotic. If you have tons of products but nothing is organized, buyers don't know where to look. That's why Etsy gives you categories. Use them. If someone enters my shop looking for Instagram templates, there's a category for that. They click once and everything they need is right there. No endless scrolling. I also group products with the same branding together, so if someone lands on a beige minimalist design, they instantly see all the matching products. It visually makes sense. It feels intentional, and that removes a ton of overwhelm. When things are easy to find, easy to understand, and easy to compare, buyers feel confident, and when people feel confident, they buy. Another point I have, and honestly one of the most interesting, is that people buy because of pricing psychology. This is something I learned years ago, and it completely changed how I structure my shop. Buyers don't just look at the price. They look at value perception. People love feeling like they're getting more than what they're paying for. So one thing I do is I run a 50% off sale that refreshes every 48 hours. That does 2 things. First, buyers feel like they're getting a huge discount. Second, Etsy adds a countdown timer. When people see the sale ending soon, it creates urgency and pushes them to buy now even though it renews again after 48 hours. Most of the time, nobody even notices. I also use Etsy's promotional tools because they work incredibly well. If someone adds a product to their cart but doesn't buy, Etsy sends them an extra 10% off. Same thing with favored item offers. People love feeling like they're getting a special deal. And you've probably experienced this yourself. When a sale is ending soon or you suddenly get a bonus discount code, you're so much more likely to check out, right? These are small psychological triggers buyers don't even realize are influencing them, but they work. So when you're pricing your products, don't just think about the number. Think about how the buyer feels about the price. Because when they feel like they're getting an amazing deal, that's what drives the sale. Point number 6 is people buy when they see social proof. This is human nature. When we see other people buying something, loving something, reviewing something, it instantly makes us feel safer. And with digital products, social proof matters even more because buyers can't touch the product. They rely on what other people experienced. A single review or even just seeing a few hundred sales, those are massive trust signals. Think about it. When you're shopping and something has thousands of 5-star reviews, you feel good about buying. But if something has 0 reviews and 1 photo, you hesitate. Your buyers feel the exact same way. This is why beginners often struggle, not because their product isn't good, but because they haven't built social proof yet. So in the beginning, one of the best things you can focus on is getting those first reviews. Many sellers do this well by politely messaging buyers after purchase, thanking them and encouraging a review, sometimes with a small discount for next time. Others add a review reminder inside their PDF. Those little nudges help a lot. And as you grow, there are other forms of social proof too, bestseller badges, ranking high in search, Etsy Star Seller Badge. All of these instantly tell buyers people trust this shop. And don't skip your About Me section. Share who you are, why you started, what your mission is. When buyers feel connected to you, they feel safer buying from you. All of these, reviews, badges, rankings, your story, stack together to say, other people trust me, you can too. And once social proof starts working in your favor, it snowballs. The more people buy from you, the easier it becomes for the next person to say yes. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. Selling digital products is not about being the best designer or having the perfect niche or knowing every hack in the world. It's really about understanding human behavior. When you understand why people buy, their doubts, their desires, their identity, and their need for reassurance, selling becomes less about luck and more about strategy. And if part of your next step is finally building a real home for your online business, Hostinger makes that so much easier. Their website builder lets you launch a professional website or online store in just a few minutes with hosting, a free domain for a year, 0 transaction fees, and no complicated setup. They also currently have a New Year's sale where you can get the website builder business plan for as low as $2.99 per month with up to 84% off plus an extra 10% using my code YALE. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really helps my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!